What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Wednesday. It is July 9th. We are back with a full video. So what we're going to do, if you're new to the channel, if you find this video at all helpful, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave a comment because it helps the algorithm know that you guys enjoy what we bring to the table. So what we're different from than maybe other providers, we're going to go through the main slate, and we are going to look at all of the pitchers and the top 3 to top 5 bats that we like. So we're going to break down every single game on this main slate. After that, we've already done 10,000 simulations in the background. We're going to run our other segments, which you can find a part of the chapter section in the description. But we have the our matchup tool. So we're going to give you all the batters that currently have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating, followed by the pitches be crazy, and then followed by some of our favorite sports bet at the end. We also try to have giveaways every single day. Here's the first way to win. You got to like this video, you got to be a subscriber to the channel, and you got to leave a comment. You do all 3 of those, and this video right here gets at least 50 likes, you will have a shot at a free week of FTA+. So that's a week of all sports that we offer. MLB, PGA, and NASCAR, and MMA. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you'll have a chance at a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes on the video, a chance at a lifetime pass. And the second way to win, somewhere in this video, there will be a keyword or a key phrase. Wait for it, type it in, and have a second shot at a free week. Now, it's been a while since we've had the same person win on the same day. Even if the keyword is in this first comment, this is only for getting a minimum of 50 likes on the video. So this is just for the views, just getting 50 likes or more. So there you go, Drones 216. This might be the first time you've ever won. So congratulations if that's the case. Please email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, or the email is down below. Say in the subject line you are the 7-8 video views winner. And if you have an account on our site, let me know. If you do not have an account, let me know by giving an email, a username, and a password, and we will get you set up for your free pass. So the keyword was child, but we're still going to re-roll it, so you still have a chance to have your comment picked again. So it's child or children or some form of that was the keyword. So there you go. Brad Harmon, congratulations. Congratulations for both of you. Brad, please email me. You know the drill. Say you are the 7-8 video keyword winner. Let me know your username on the website. I think you won yesterday or the day before. I just saw an email from you, I do believe. So that's how easy it is. We're going to use outlier.bet to go with the main slate here. We've got 11 games. We do have weather concern in the first 3 games, but we're going to cover all of that. And we're going to start. So there are 4 early games, but we're not going to cover those 4 early games. We're going to look at the New York Mets versus Baltimore in this. So, or we've got some early ones here. Oh, that's today. Sorry, we're going to use Wednesday. My bad. It's been a day already. So we're going to look at this, and we are going to go through these games. We're going to use Outlier. You can sign up for a link. You're getting a 7-day free trial to do so. So let's jump right into it. We are going to look at this. New York Mets at Baltimore Orioles. You got David Peterson versus Sagano. So Sagano has struggled. He's got a 4.44 ERA, 6-5 record. You look at his splits. He has not faced. And I forgot to mention, if you didn't see it yesterday, I put a separate video out for Tuesday of our top 5 pitchers and our top 5 value pitchers. So if you liked that, let me know down below. If that's something you guys would like to see 2 separate videos, that's something that helps out the channel, helps out the views, helps out the watch time. Let me know if that is at all helpful. And I will try to make that an occurrence, hopefully every day. Obviously, things will sometimes pop up, but you never know. So Sagano comes in, the ERA is there. He's pitching at home. He's a 4.91 at home. That always scares me. The Mets obviously have a great team. Then you got David Peterson, 3.35 ERA. Splits-wise, he has not faced Baltimore this year. When he pitches away, though, he does have a 4.82. I would still take him a little bit because of how bad the Orioles have been, but he has been pretty atrocious on the road with that ERA, 8-8 record, 25 earned runs compared to 13 at home. Now, his ballpark at home is obviously more of a pitcher-friendly ballpark, but it's definitely something to look at. So if we were not going to use either pitcher, we were going to use the bats, we're going to see which bats we like. So we're going to do top 3, but if there are teams that we like to stack, maybe we'll go up to 5. So obviously they've never seen Sagano before. Against righties, though, you are looking who are hitting very well. I'm looking at Pete Alonso's batting over 300. He would be my number 1. Number 2 is probably Lindor. Number 3 would be Soto, but if you want to go maybe a Ronnie Mauricio and maybe a Brandon Nimmo, I think I would look in that direction there. If we go with Baltimore against David Peterson, Urias has a home run. That is it. If you look against left-handed pitching, they don't do as well against lefties. That's the thing. They don't hit as well. If you are going to look at it, maybe a Cedric Mullins, maybe a Urias, maybe a Jackson Holiday. But honestly, these numbers, you look at this, David Peterson makes a lot of sense here for being a pitcher that you could look at. I mean, he's been worse on the road, but the Orioles are a bad team, and they do not do very well against lefties. Weather being, contingent on the weather, there is rain there. Seattle at the Yankees is the next game. Rain being a concern here. We do have Logan Evans. We do have Schlittler. My bad. Cam Schlittler. Oh, I'm going to mess that up during the season if he stays up. He's making his debut. He's 7,000. He is going up against Seattle. Seattle does strike out the sixth most out of any team. You got Logan Evans coming in. He's only averaging 13.1. Basically what I tell everybody, when we're looking at DraftKings, you're looking for about 25 to 30 fantasy points per pitcher. On FanDuel, about 40 to 50. Evans here, he's only pitched 10 games this season, 4 home, 4 away. When he's been on the road, it's been 5.73. Schlittler, you look at him, there's no news on him there. Coming up from AAA, he does have a 2.82 ERA, 121 WHIP, 99 strikeouts to 26 walks. Making a debut against a team that's never seen him before, I will give that a little bit of exposure. I don't think I like Logan Evans at all. I think I'd rather go the Yankees bats. I don't even need to break it down. I would be looking at Jason Dominguez, specifically if he's starting and he's leading off. I would look at Aaron Judge, and I would look at Jazz Chisholm. I would also pair that with Schlittler. I'm going to mess that name up. I don't really like any of the Seattle bats right now. That's where I would go in this game. Hopefully we get this game in, and hopefully rain is not a concern. Colorado at Boston is next. You got Lucas Giolito versus Sensatella. Obviously, Colorado is a very bad team. Giolito coming in, 3.53 ERA, 5.01 record. Coming off back-to-back really good games. Has not faced Colorado this year. When he pitches at home, though, he does have a 5.83. So that does scare me a little bit, but he does meet a Colorado team that they're not good. Then Sensatella comes in at Boston, same game, really has not hit value at all the entire time. And by that, I mean 20 fantasy points. He's got a 7 ERA. I'm avoiding the pitchers in this game, and I'm 100% going with the bats. I do not trust them whatsoever in this game. I would take, if I'm taking someone, it's probably Giolito just because of how bad Colorado is, but how bad he's been at home. I could see you making a case. So if I were to go Colorado bats, it'd be Hunter Goodman. It would be probably Jairo Estrada and then Tyler Freeman. If I'm going Boston bats against Sensatella, it's a full stack. So depending, it'd be Rafaela, it'd be a Wilyer Abreu, Abraham Toro, Jaron Duran, and probably Trevor Story in this game. So I'll take a little bit of Giolito, but I'd rather have just the bats. I don't see any direction that you go Sensatella. He's averaging 4 fantasy points. He may have a great game and you throw him in a tournament because he's 4,500 because he's so cheap. But that's only if you're making like 20 plus lineups. That's where I would trust it. So next game, Miami at Cincy, always scares me a little bit because it is Cincy and the ball does seem to fly out of there when it's hot, humid, and the rain is there. You got Andrew Abbott, comes in with a 2.15 ERA. Did not do well against Philly. We actually stacked Philly against him. Would have loved to see more than 4 earned runs, but we'll take what we can get. When he pitches, he's obviously not faced Miami this year. When he pitches at home, he does have a 2.13 ERA. So that is a plus. He is 9,500. He's pretty expensive, considering he's averaging under 20 fantasy points. Then you got Alcantara. We know he's great when he needs to be. He's a Cy Young winner. He's got a 7 ERA, though. Game log wise, he has not had a good game since he faced Pittsburgh. That's the problem. Since he can hit in this ballpark, like he's got great stuff. Overall, since his offense is not as good as you would expect it to be, but Alcantara has been so bad, it's very hard to feel comfortable using him, at least in cash. So if I'm looking at Miami bats against Abbott here, not much. Maybe Dane Myers comes in. Kyle Stowers batting 313. Augustin Ramirez batting 254. I kind of like Andrew Abbott a little bit. Then Alcantara comes in. Nope. Austin Hayes has a home run against him. Against righties, though, they smash. They all smash. So Spencer Steer batting 260. You got Friedel batting 297. You got Trevino batting 316. You got Ellie De La Cruz batting 294. Like, I do not mind a Cincy stack here. I don't see what world I would use either of these pitchers in cash. And I want Alcantara to have a good game. I don't know if it is in fact a possibility here, especially in this ballpark with the wind and the weather. So we move to Chicago at Minnesota. You got David Festa versus Cade Horton. So Festa comes in game log wise, last pitched on July 3rd. You look at this, I mean, 15.9, had a great game against Detroit, which makes no sense because of how good Detroit is. Went 5.2 innings. The problem is the innings, getting to 6 innings has been a struggle for him. He's only done it twice this year. Splits wise, when he pitches at home, got a 4.56 compared to a 6.63. And how good the Cubs are, that scares me. Got Cade Horton on the other hand, 4.50 ERA, game log, a great game against Cleveland, bad, good against Pittsburgh, kind of it. Splits wise, when he's on the road, got a 6.85. Personally, I'm probably just looking at the bats. I'm probably not even taking a peek at the pitchers in this one. Obviously, the Cubs are going to be my number one here. Their offense has just been so good this year. Haven't seen much of Festa, but Carson Kelly does have a home run. But against right-handed pitching, I'm looking at Michael Busch, who's batting over 300 with 16 bombs. I'm looking at Pete Crow Armstrong, 310, 18 bombs. I'm looking at Kyle Tucker, 291 with 11 home runs. Suzuki, 251 with 17 bombs. I'm even looking at Nico Horner. Not a ton of home runs, but I feel pretty comfortable using the Cubs as a stack, if not a 2+ stack, meaning I like more than 5 players on the team. I think we go and feel pretty comfortable with a full Cubs stack there. Go Minnesota bats against Horton. They've never seen him before, but against righties, they do hit well. I'd probably look at Trevor Larnach. I'd look at Byron Buxton. I would look at Harrison Bader. If you're going to go a full stack, probably looking at Ty France and maybe even Cody Clemens or a Ryan Jeffers in this situation. So I'm going to avoid the pitching in this one. I do not trust either of those pitchers enough to feel comfortable, even in a tournament lineup. Then you got Kansas City hosting Pittsburgh Pirates. You got Bubic, who, again, splits. He has not faced him before, but pitching at home, he's got a 2.81. Game log wise, kind of been iffy the past couple of games, but I do like this matchup here for him. Then you got Bailey Falter coming in, 3.69, standing damn near fine. 12. I mean, he hasn't done much. He has not hit the 20+ value you need, except for back on May 20. Splits wise, when he pitches on the road, he's got a 4.28. That leads me to believe I love Bubic here. Love me some Bubic. Boobs. But I would look at Bubic, and then I would look at Kansas City bats a little bit. Kansas City bats against Falter, no one's had success. Against lefties, they actually haven't been as good. But looking at this, I would say Bobby Witt Jr. makes a ton of sense. I would say Michael Garcia, batting 328. I would also look at Pasquantino a little bit. Maybe a little bit of Johnny India, a little. But yeah, Bubic and the Royals as a stack is where I'd go. So next game, Washington at St. Louis. Palante got moved back. I did like him in yesterday's video. I don't mind him here. He had a pretty decent game against him. I think he's more in tournaments. And then you got Mackenzie Gore. So Mackenzie Gore comes in, a 3.11 ERA. Hasn't really had much value / success in a while. He's 9,800. He has not hit over 19 fantasy points since June 4th. It's been over a month. That scares me. He is very expensive here. The strikeouts have been lower. We do have 13 strikeouts a couple of times, but outside of that, he's maybe pitching more to who he is. I get he's not giving up much runs here. Like 2-1, did give up 5, 2-2. Like the runs are low. The strikeouts are kind of low. The walks are up there. The fantasy points just are not there for him. That scares me a little. And I believe, which we are going to look at, that St. Louis hits pretty well against lefties. So looking at the batters, if, you want to go with the Washington bats against Andre, no one's really had success. Against righties, though, they do hit pretty good. I would look at Nate Lowe. I would look at James Wood. I would look at CJ Abrams. Maybe Josh Bell, just depending on what you want to go with there. St. Louis against Mackenzie Gore. Like Arenado has a home run, but he's been day-to-day quite a bit, and I believe he did not play yesterday. Wilson Contreras has a home run. Mason Wynn and Lars Nootbaar all have a home run. Against lefties this year, Arenado batting 289. Pozo batting 346, I'm okay with. outside of that, they don't do maybe a Lars Nootbaar. Like, it makes sense, but Mackenzie Gore is so expensive. He has not hit value in a while. That scares me. I'm not 100% sure what to think about that one. Maybe if you make 150 lineups, you put Gore in there a little bit. Maybe if you make 20 lineups, you put a little bit more there. You never know. That's kind of what I would look at in this situation. Cleveland at Houston would be the next game. You got Brandon Walter versus Slade Ciccone. Walter comes in against, now Cleveland's, they've struggled the past 10, 11 games. They lost 10 in a row before winning, I believe, on Monday night. Splits-wise, he's already faced Cleveland once this year. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks. Obviously, not a ton of Ks, but put up 15.9. He was 6,700. He's now $2,000. And he's only hit the 20-plus twice. And one was against the Cubs, which is very surprising. But Cleveland has struggled. And then Ciccone coming in. Splits-wise, he has not faced Houston this year. When he pitches on the road, got a 2.57, so he has been better on the road. Game log, it's been up and down just depending on where he's pitching. I'm okay with Ciccone, but Houston's been putting up some runs. They're back, and they're putting up runs without their studs. They obviously don't have Kyle Tucker anymore. Jordan hasn't even played. I don't even know how many games Jordan's played. Bregman's obviously gone, and they're still putting up runs. Against Brandon Walter, like Bo Naylor has a home run. That is it. J-Ram does bat better against lefties, so he's batting 344. You could look at him. Angel Martinez, you could look at. Maybe Carlos Santana, since he is a switch hitter. Houston bats against Ciccone. And Houston bats, Paredes at home, Christian Walker, Altuve. I would look at them. At the moment, don't love a huge Houston stack, but after 20,000 sims, maybe that will update. Texas at the Angels is the next game. We've got Kumar Rocker versus Kyle Hendricks. Hendricks has put up some good numbers. Like, he's not averaging much. His ERA is 4.68, but he did put up 32.5 against the Yankees. 22.5 against Detroit. Like, he's had his fair share. He's just a boring pitcher, though. Texas offense, though, has been pretty blah themselves. He does pitch better at home, but has nearly a 4 ERA at home. And then Kumar Rocker comes in, lives up to his name, gets rocked. 5.80 ERA, hit value against the White Sox, you're supposed to. Hit value against the Angels, again, you're supposed to. But every other team, Seattle put up 17.3 at his price. He's 7,500. I don't know if I trust him. I'd rather probably just go the bats in this one. You could look at Rocker just because the Angels do strike out the most out of any team, 9.82 runs or strikeouts per game. But again, not a ton going off there. So if we're looking at Texas bats against Hendricks, Higashioka has a home run, Marcus Semien has a home run, and Adolis Garcia has a home run. I would love Adolis to do really well because I have like 5 of his rookies. I just saw those the other day. So we look at some bats. If you are taking Josh Smith batting over 300, Corey Seager batting 272 with 8 bombs, I would use those 2 for sure. Probably looking at Wyatt Langford, steals bases 2, back off the IL. Angels bats against Rocker. They do better against righties. I would look at Trout. I would look at Soler. I would look at Nito. But if you want a couple of value, probably Stevens or maybe even Ward is what you could look at in that situation. Arizona at San Diego is next. You got Dylan Cease versus Brandon Pfaadt. Cease has been up and down. He doesn't look like himself. He's batting 4.62 ERA. Has not hit value his past 2 starts. Splits wise, when he pitches at home, he does have a better ERA. So he's back at home against Arizona, who they don't hit. They do hit righties better, but this is a pitcher's ballpark. And then Brandon Pfaadt. It's been one of those 5.32 ERA. Kind of like hasn't hit value here. He had negative 20 there. Obviously 17.65. Yeah. So you look at that, and I did well against the Dodgers. It's just been really weird. Through 10,000 sims, I don't think I like either of these pitchers, but we could look at the bats. The bats are fine. Both sides, I think. Cease has struggled. He has been better at home, like I said, but he has struggled outside of that. Right. So if we're looking at Arizona, Ketel Marte, as long as he plays, love that. Josh Naylor batting almost 300 on the year against righties, batting 321. Suarez batting 271 with double digits, like 20 home runs. Corbin Carroll, like it makes sense. Dylan Cease has struggled this year. I'm probably looking at Arizona bats Cincy or San Diego against Fott. Really haven't done much. Tatis does have a home run. Against right-handed pitching, like Luis Arraez batting 299, Jackson Merrill batting 273, Tatis batting 287, Machado batting 306. Like, I think this could be a high-scoring game. I'm probably not using the pitching. And before we get to the last game, the keyword of the day is outfit change, key phrase, because it got hot. And my child walked in, and I said, not today, no more cameos, not for free. So then we're looking at the last game. Now, the problem is the ballpark here, the ball flies out of there. It's very hot. It's very humid. The ERAs are bad. Mitch Spence comes in, hasn't really hit value. When he pitches at home, got a 5.65 ERA, like I said. And with the wind blowing out here, that scares me, even against Atlanta. And then the Braves, 5.92. Elder's been pretty bad. You look at his splits when he's on the road, he's got a 5. When he's at home, he's got 6.69. It's very bad. I'm probably looking at just the offenses overall, and that's kind of what I would look at. Atlanta bats against Spence. They've never seen him before, so sometimes we give we put the pitcher up here on a pedestal because they've never seen him before, but not in this ballpark. Braves bats I would look at. Austin Riley batting 277 with double-digit home runs. Matt Olson, double-digit home runs. Probably Sean Murphy there. And then there's always Ronald Acuna who's batting 364 against righties this year. Obviously, he's a stud. Let's just hope he doesn't strike out 5 times a game. You could always throw in maybe an Ozzie Albies as well. Athletics against Elder. Shea Langelier is the only one that's faced him before. But against right-handed pitching this year, if he starts, Austin Wynn's batting 339. Great. 4 home runs. You've got Tyler Soderstrom batting 264 with 14 bombs. I would look at Brent Rooker as well, 263 with 13 bombs. I don't know what I'd look at. Rooker does hit lefties better, but I would look at them as well. So there you have it. That is the main slate broken down, all 11 games. It is now time to go through all of our batters. I have a 10 out of 10 matchup rate. Now, the record is 38. We have not come close to that in a long time. Let's see what we can get here. Number 1 is Lawrence Butler. Number 2, Kyle Tucker. 3, Byron Buxton. 4, Juan Soto. 5, Brent Rooker. 6, Shohei Ohtani. 7, Jarren Duran. 8, Wilyer Abreu. 9, Kyle Schwarber. 10, Pete Alonso. 11, Fernando Tatis Jr. 12, Michael Garcia. 13, Shea Langeliers. 14, Trey Turner. 15, Jackson Merrill. 16, Matt Wallner. 17, Michael Busch. 18, Carlos Narvaez. 19, Tyler Soderstrom. 20, Alejandro Kirk. 21, Vinny Pasquantino. 22, Vladdy. 23, J. Ram. 24, Teoscar Hernandez. 25, Bryce Harper. 26, Salvi Perez. 27, Cedane Rafaela. 28, Royce Lewis. 29, Andy Pages. 30, Jake Cronenworth. 31, Alec Boehm. 32, Bryson Stott. And 33, Max Kepler. So all of those have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through the first 10,000 simulations. Now, pitches be crazy. These are teams that strike out the most on this slate. And these are the pitchers maybe to target against, whether or not you're doing DFS or if you're doing, if you're going to go ahead and do the just sports betting and some of the strikeout. So number 1, Kumar Rocker at the Angels. Angels strike out 9.82 times per game, 9.90 at home. Number 2 is Lucas Giolito versus the Rockies. The Rockies strike out 9.69 times per game, 10.31 on the road. Number 3 is Antonio Sensatella at Boston. Boston strikes out 9.16 times per game, 8.28 at home. Number 4 is Logan Evans at the Yankees. The Yankees strike out 8.90 times per game, 8.07 at home. And number 5 is David Peterson versus the Orioles. The Orioles strike out 8.85 times per game, 8.66 at home. Now, the ones I'm weary or leery or scared to use, probably Kumar Rocker, Sensatella, and Logan Evans. I don't mind Giolito and I don't mind David Peterson with all of the numbers of how bad Baltimore are, all of their bats are against lefties. So now we're going to do our final segment, Make and Bake. These are the batters we think could get you 10 plus or 2 plus bases or 1 plus RBIs or 1 plus hit, runs, and RBIs combined. I wouldn't put all of these together, but you can parlay some of them. Jarren Duran, 1. 2 is Lawrence Butler. 3 is Brent Rooker. 4 is Wilyer Abreu. 5 is Byron Buxton. 6 is Juan Soto. 7 is Salvi Perez. 8, Pete Alonso. 9, Jackson Merrill. 10, Vinny Pasquantino. And 11 is Kyle Tucker. I think they all could get 2 plus bases here. And if we look at strikeouts, these are maybes. I don't love today a bunch, but if you want to look at some of these for these numbers, Dylan Cease, 6+ strikeouts, I'm okay with. Lucas Giolito, 6+ against Colorado. Chris Bubich, 6+ against Pirates. David Peterson against Baltimore, 5 or 6+. And then Eric Lauer versus the White Sox, one of the early games, 4 to 5+ strikeouts is what I would. So there you go. That is what I have in this situation. That is today's slate, Wednesday. If you liked it, let me know. If you want to see how I did the pitcher ratings in yesterday's separate video, go check that out. If you do like it, let me know down below, and I will start putting them on the daily if I can. I will be out away from the computer at lineup lock, so go to the Discord to get any information that you need. The core plays, some of them we put out there. Also, you can check out FTA Plus. It's $10 for a week. It's $30 for a month if you want to check that out. We're very excited. We're inching our way towards NFL, and I cannot wait.